So development, now, if you promote Gambian artists, you are contributing to national development. Why? Because you're creating employment. Now, if you buy their music, you provide a means of sustenance for them, and then they'll be able to employ more people, so you're creating employment. But when you abandon your own artists and buy rubbish, junk music from somebody who is outside of the country, you're not helping. You destroy your economy. Like when you decide, instead of going around and take this local rapper, the handmade cloth and others, oh, it's expensive. And then you go and buy this nectar from Italy, which costs 10 times one. If you understand what I mean.
I do.
So we Africans create unemployment in Africa and then create employment in the West. And it is unfortunate. Now, if, for example, in the resources we have, if, I mean, when I say we, I mean in Africa, if an African country, a company from the Gambia, they look at it, everybody, CEO, everybody's Gambian, goes to a particular country and say, oh, we are interested in extracting this. They will not even look at us. They will say, you don't know yourself. But let one European come with a bogus company and he's giving red carpet treatment. This is the psychology that is detrimental to Africa's socio-economic development, Africa in general and Gambia in particular. So we have a long way to go. We have to change attitude. Let us be positive about ourselves. Because self-confidence has to be created by yourself. It cannot be imposed. Now, if you are dependent on me, you can have no self-confidence. But I can just see in the street and say, oh, I'm giving you 5 minutes to go home and eat, otherwise you're not going to eat. Do you understand? So where's your self-confidence? If what you eat comes from my hand, you are not independent. You don't have self-confidence, and self-esteem is something else. That is why I've always made it very clear. From the day when we made it patriotism, national pride. You cannot be a proud nation when your feeding comes from another country, and that was one reason why we say we have to go back to the land. Unfortunately, it has to take devastating food crisis for Gambians to understand my message of going back to the land. And I think the idea of being independent is becoming a reality. And of course, the beauty of being independent as an individual, as a society, and as a nation. Now, all those numbskulls that go around and talk, oh, the government is not doing anything. What have they done to the country? Okay, election is over. None of them maybe has a farm. And I'm not saying go to the farm and give it to me. I say go to the farms and contribute to national development. Feed yourself, in the process you're contributing to national development and prosperity. And they say, oh, now he has no agenda but to turn everybody into a farmer. Who am I? They think I'm God. I'm not God. The Almighty Allah who has everything. There are still people that are destitute, who live in abject poverty. So who am I to take everybody out of poverty? I only try what I can. But people have to really change their attitude. No.
Excellency.
Now, the issue of settle, Operation Clean the Nation. You cannot bring about economic prosperity without a healthy nation. And you cannot bring about a healthy nation without cleanliness. And so when we say Operation Clean the Nation, those who do not support the government, I'm also not calling anybody to come and clean State House or go and clean Kanilai or anywhere. I say clean the nation, clean your area. Those who do not support the government say, oh, They sit around and say, let the APRC do it. Did we say go and clean the APRC headquarters? No. We want your area to be clean. If you understand what I mean. So, if everything is taken in the extreme negative context, it's a deterrent to development. And this is the problem. Now, whereas certain areas are clean, certain parts of the country are horribly filthy. Because, oh, we are not APRC. Clean your house. You say you not clean it because the guy who is telling you to do so, in your own interest, doesn't belong to the same party with you. So this is the problem we have in Africa. Some people think that being opposition means being enemies.
To the status quo.
Yes.
Effective service delivery is the key in your government's agenda. I'm still reflecting on the interview we had the last time, wherein you went overboard regarding the nurses and the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. It would have been a delight to see this country be the hub for flights in and out of the continent. Are we still optimistic? Have these people changed their attitudes? What is the latest on the nurses and the hub for the Gambia?
I will never be a pessimist. One day or the other, sooner or later, the Gambia will become a major hub, or one of the most important hubs for Africa and the rest of the world. One, because of our strategic location. But there are requirements to be met to become a hub. One is the airport itself, the infrastructure. And that is why you can see that there is phase 2 of the airport development project. Now, the status quo of whether Gambia should be a hub now or not, to a large extent, is not determined by civil aviation. No, not even a cow. It depends on what facilities you have on the ground. Okay? Now, they can play a negative role too in this process, the civil aviation, if they don't live up to expectation. But up to today, Gambia's airport is rated as one of the best in terms of security and aviation. Yes, some people that wanted to invest to come and bring airlines were discouraged along the way. This was the only negative role of some element of civil aviation. Also, it is wrong to say, to blame everybody in civil aviation of being responsible for this. There are elements, just like you have negative elements everywhere, some negative element everywhere in every sector of the society. So, yeah, there's few people, but also it turned out that they were also not supporting the government. In fact, it was well known that they were not supporting the ruling party. But they made a big mistake. If you are not supporting the ruling party, and you are in government, do your job, because otherwise you will be kicked out. So there are people who do not support the government, but they are working as patriotic citizens, and I respect that. Do you understand? But to say that whatever is good is coming to the country, oh, now I've occupied a position, the development that Jammeh is talking about, I will block it using my position, you are on a suicide mission. Because we're not going to spare you. So, yes, if I want, I can even tell you in how many years will Gambia become a major hub. By the grace of the Almighty Allah. Let me tell you one thing.